I've been grinding hard from the mud, came up from the bottom. Chasing dreams in the city where I feel like a problem. Late nights in the booth, hitting truth in every verse. Counting stacks, yeah, you know it. Put the fan in a hearse. Had some homies looking strange, but I kept my vision clear. Money flowing, let it rain, ain't no room for the fear. We stacking dirty money, telling all these blessings, living life fast. No time for second guessing. In the shadows, we rise, never backing down. Dirty money dreams, we wear the hustle proud.
Dirty money dreams, I got dirty money schemes. Bitches always talk, but they don't know just who I be. YungSchwetzel living G, I get here to make your bleed. Smoke too many cigarettes, my lungs was getting tight. Depression, my profession, made me toss and turn on nights. Smith with the West, and I make sure I get it right. Ain't regretting, I'm a weapon, baby, I be out of sight. No regression, just progression, I be shining like a light. Bring succession, I'm a veteran, and I put that on my life. YungSchwetzel ain't no bestie in my motherfucking sight. And they get your mind right, get up out that limelight. Wonder what the fuck I do, they treat me like a Klondike. Bitch, it's been a long night, ain't my job the wrong right. As if life is like a pie, then you got the wrong slice. And you focused on expenses, but you got the wrong price. And I still be wondering why shit changed so much. When I start to get into it, do I care too much? I can't lie to myself, I ain't shed two fucks. Since the baby came around, I think I've been too much. I'm just prepared too much, I ain't been scared too much. Baby, we ain't gotta fight, no, I don't care too fuss. Do you know what it's like to live this life with no trust? Do you know that I'm making from the back to the front? Had to tell a little bitch you come and get up on my nuts. Give a fuck, I be out here blowing blunts. Dirty money dreams, I got dirty money schemes. Why the fuck you talking? You don't know just who I be. Money dreams, I got dirty money schemes. Why the fuck you talking? You don't know just who I be. YungSchwetzel living G, I can here to make you bleed. Dirty money dreams, I got dirty money schemes. YungSchwetzel living G, I can here to make you bleed. Dirty money dreams, I got dirty money schemes. 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 Why, I got dirty money dreams. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the communication station with your boy YungSchwetzel. Second time going live today. These are just some topics that I've been pondering on for a little minute. So figured I'd go ahead and run them down and get them out the way. You know what I'm saying? So today we're going to talk about how to gain more peace just solely by basically doing what you want to do. Handling your own problems in the way that you see fit to handle them and taking your own advice. Because here's the thing. A lot of times in life, I see people be getting, seeking a lot of advice for any type of issue that they run into, whether it be a small thing or a big thing. You know, like it's not a lot of people out there who solely can just handle their problems by themselves without having to tap in with somebody else for some formulation of some type of advice, some type of guidance, some type of needing a mentor type of situation like that. And all that leads to is more discourse within you with your own thoughts and feelings and how you feel about situations and shit like that. That's all it lead to. It just lead to you being less peaceful, you being more frustrated, and you having more issues that you wouldn't necessarily have if you wouldn't have taken this person's advice in the first place, and you would have just handled your problems on your own without taking the advice of other individuals. So this is the thing that y'all need to take into consideration of why you need to actually take your own advice and do your own thing. And even if you have a problem that you might not know how to solve at this present moment, you can always think on it more and develop more tools to be able to attack it, whether that be going through certain situations to develop some experience and develop some wisdom around whatever issue you're facing at the moment or whatever experience you're going through at the moment. Whatever you're dealing with, you know, you might need to take that time to get a little bit more
wisdom over it, get a little bit more experience, get some more context clues. That way you actually know what you're dealing with. That way you can work yourself through the problem. You don't need necessarily to be going and seeking advice from a bunch of other individuals amongst the world, especially because, like I talk to y'all about all the time, people is only going to help you from their level of awareness. People is only going to be able to give you tools that worked for them or people who are similarly like them. You know what I'm saying? So if you are in a situation where you already have a hard time finding people to connect with, or you already have a hard time being like other people and shit like that, then you already know that a person's advice ain't necessarily going to work for you, because you're not into the same things. You don't live the same type of life that this person might live. You don't think the same type of way. You don't feel the same way. Y'all don't relate on the same type of things. You know what I'm saying? You don't feel the same about things. So thinking that taking an advice from somebody outside of you is ever going to work really is just foolishness in the first place. Because this is the thing. There's two sides of this coin that y'all need to consider when it do work and when it doesn't work, based on results of whatever you're going through right now. And I'm talking about whatever advice that you might have taken from somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's the two sides that we really need to pay attention to. When it do work, what happens, and when it doesn't work, what happens, right? So when you're in a situation where you're taking advice from individuals, right, who they might even have a superior way of going about it or some shit, right? If it doesn't work, what's going to happen is you're going to be frustrated, because you're going to be like, damn, like you're going to be sitting back thinking like, damn, I already knew like a better way to approach this situation. I just took this person's advice because they might even have more experience than me in that realm of reality or whatever. So I felt like I needed to take advice from them. But if I would have just did this thing that I was thinking the whole time, the shit would have worked out way differently, and it would have worked out much better for me. You know what I'm saying? But instead, I took this person's advice, and now I'm reaping these certain type of benefits, or I missed this opportunity, or I made this certain type of mistake, or the results that I got, I'm not happy with because it wasn't done in my way. I took advice from another individual, and now I'm in this situation. You'll never get the results you want. It'll never be something that's correlated to you. It'll always be something that you got to maintain and work at, because it's being constructed by someone else. It's not something that you put into place. It's not how you would approach that situation. That's not how you would solve that problem. That's how that person would solve that problem. So when it doesn't work, you're going to be frustrated, because you're always going to think like, damn, I had a better idea, or damn, like, yeah, this person gave me advice, but they just led me to damnation, really. Like, they just led me off a cliff, low key. Like, this shit didn't even help at all. If anything, this shit kind of made the situation worse. I would have been in better shape if I would have took no action at all rather than taking the wrong action. Get what I'm saying? And as y'all live life and start to experience more things and shit like that, you're going to kind of know what battles to pick as far as situations where you can opt out of taking action or intervening in some type of way and still come out on top in some type of way, or not experience the issues that other individuals that might have did the more intervening and action aspect of it and got some type of negative response. You know what I'm saying? So that's why other people's advice is useless, because if it doesn't work, you're going to be pissed off at them. You're going to be upset anyways, because you know you already had a more fulfilling idea. You already know you had a better way of going about it. It's just due to this person being your mom, or due to you having a certain level of respect and care about certain individuals and shit like that will make you disregard how you really think about the situation and how you would approach it to take this person's advice, and it might not even work out for you. So yeah, that's the tip whenever the shit don't work out for you. But whenever we get into when it do work out for you, there's still other things that we need to take into consideration. You get what I'm saying? So when it does work out for you, you might still be in a situation where you're a little bit frustrated because you kind of took a shortcut or a cheat code type of shit. Like, it took somebody coming outside their mouth to tell you shit needed to be a certain way, or shit needed to Oh, thank you for the Cash App, by the way. Etana underscore. I can't pronounce that ending part, but I appreciate you. Thank you. But yeah, when it actually do work out for you, this is the thing that y'all need to take into consideration. You didn't go through the loops that it took to actually understand that situation and the circumstance itself in its entirety. Now I got somebody calling me. Oh shit, was a scam call. Stay out my phone. But yeah, anyways, you haven't went through the necessary trials and tribulations for you to understand that situation in its totality in the first place. So the only tool that you're going to have to be able to attack situations that come to you that appear similar to that problem that you were facing, that you got advice from somebody, now you only have the advice. That's all you have now. So when similar situations come to you again, the only sword that you have, the only sharp sword that you have is the advice and somebody else's idea of how they would attack that situation or how they would handle that. You get what I'm saying? So that's why even if work is still not necessarily a good thing, because when new situations appear underneath the same energy and you are already missing a piece of the puzzle because you didn't the awareness that it took and you didn't develop the right frequencies and vibrations, the right ways to be thinking and feeling about a situation to be handling it in the most sufficient manner for you. So whenever a situation along the same type of energy down the line comes along where you need to be working off of that awareness and experience and wisdom that you already developed from dealing with that issue in the past, you don't have those tools now. So when this appears again, all you have is that person's advice. So you're going to make a whole bunch of unnecessary mistakes. And now this is how things play out too. You can be ignorant as long as you want to, but understand the negative response that you're going to get back from the mistakes that you keep making are going to get worse over time, because what we're experiencing, everything that we experience comes like a spiral. So as you travel along, the spiral can be sitting in any direction. It could be on an upward spiral. It could be on a downward spiral. It could go from left to right. It could go from right to left. It could be pointing diagonally. Let's not get into the directional. Let's not get lost into the directional aspect of it. But everything we experience is like a spiral. So you are going to rotate back to those same things that you were experiencing previously, but now it's just supposed to be a space where you have more awareness over that, more experience over that, more wisdom over that, so that you're not making the same type of mistakes and you're not constantly caught up in a squared out moment where you're having to constantly learn from these mistakes due to these same shit that you're continuing to go through. You just weren't able to develop the awareness that you needed to develop off of it, and the experience that you were supposed to get out of it, so that you don't make the same mistakes moving forward, and you know how to handle things and be more graceful and kind of just position things with like lightheartedness and shit like that. Like, you don't necessarily need to be stressed out about these things. You don't necessarily need to, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how it'll go. But if you're still in a position where you are making beginner mistakes in some shit that the only way that you got into a more a less mediocre aspect of it and got into a more advanced category of whatever shit that you're dealing with, whatever energy you're dealing with at the moment, the only way that you were able to get into that more advanced categorization of it is due to the advice that you got from other people to lead you here. But like I said, you're missing everything that led you up to this point. So whenever you're at this more advanced point now, when you are still making those beginner rookie type of mistakes in the advanced category, you're in a more broad realm of reality dealing with whatever you're dealing with now. So now you're going to get slapped down like 10 times harder. You're going to be homeless like 10 times harder. You're going to be, you get what I'm saying? Like, and this shit play out in a lot of ways. Like I'm just giving y'all examples. So don't take the homeless thing like too literally or some shit like that. But whatever it is that you're going through, like if you realize that, okay, you've been stealing a whole bunch or some shit, and you don't go through getting punched in your face or some shit, or you don't go through getting caught stealing, and you know what I'm saying? And every time that you think you're about to get caught, you go in and get advice from somebody who is like mastermind thief or some shit like that, and they'll give you the advice to how to navigate to get out of that and not get caught or some shit like that, or not continue in the face. When you continue to, now that's allowing you to advance and go forward in that realm of reality, become a more advanced thief, become a more advanced stealing motherfucker, right? But this homeboy's advice that you got is the only thing that got you here in the first place. So now you're sitting in this more advanced realm of reality, but say, for example, now you don't have that pro thief around you anymore. You don't have that person to give you that advice no more. So now when you get into these situations and you're about to get caught or something, you don't know what to do now because you didn't go through the shit that you needed to go through. You was just taking advice based on someone else's experience and hijacking that and utilizing that to further your own experiences, right? But whenever you're in that more advanced category, so now you're going to be getting your ass beat even more. Like, so you backdoor somebody or you go rob a plug's house or some shit like that. They catch you in the process. Boom, they're going to whoop your ass 10 times harder. They're going to jump you 10 times harder. You're going to go to jail and serve a prison sentence 10 times harder. You're going to be on probation for the rest of your life 10 times harder. You know what I'm saying? And the reason for that is whatever realm of reality you're in, there's always low octave and high octave sides of it. And there's also equilibrium states to it. So whatever side you're on is the spirits that you're going to be dealing with. People who are also in these certain realms of realities, when we start to get into the esoteric concept of these things and the spaces that people be in spiritually and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So when you're in that more advanced aspect of it, when you fuck up, you're going to experience the harshness of that, especially if you're on the more advanced tip, because you're either on a more higher octave aspect of it or a more equilibrium aspect of it. And that's where the real beings like to be at. The real beings like to hang out in the higher octave energies and the more equilibrium energies. So the moment that even if you didn't get there intentionally and on purpose, you just got there from taking advice from people, you are still dealing with those real beings in that area. So when they see you in that space and location spiritually in the esoteric, when they see you in that space and location start to moving a little bit funny, same shit's going to happen up there. You're going to get slapped down by those real ass beings. And then you're going to come down here and you're going to experience that same shit down here. That's why you don't take advice from nobody. That's why you handle your own problems, no matter how fucking hard it gets. And no matter how easy and how minute it may seem. The moment that you start allowing people to give you advice all the time, you're programming yourself. You're programming yourself for that. So anytime anything gets hard, your automatic response, all the cells within your body has been programmed towards reaching out to someone for advice. So anytime a problem comes to you and it gets serious, now you've programmed yourself for that. So your first instinct is going to be to give up and go seek advice from somebody and get somebody to tell you how you should be doing what you think you should be doing, or whatever goal that you're trying to reach, or whatever problem that you're facing in your life at the moment. So this is how you gain more peace. Not allow nah. Fuck, sorry guys. Them pins be too strong. So anyway, this is how you actually gain more peace. Don't allow yourself to act on any advice. Obviously, people are going to try to give you advice all the time. Like, no matter what you're into, people are going to be observing how you're moving, and somebody is always going to have something to say, negative or positive, in the advice realm about it. Whether saying you're fucking up and you need to do this, or whether saying like, yeah, you're doing the right thing and keep going, even if you are doing the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? But this is how you gain more peace. Don't allow yourself to act on any advice from anyone. No matter what. You can hear it all day. Just don't allow yourself to act on it. And especially don't be seeking out advice, because if that is your mental and emotional state of being, and that's how you're talking to yourself all the time, like, damn, I need some advice, I need some help, I need some advice. Understand, that's all you're going to attract. More situations where you need more advice, more situations where you need more help, more situations where, you get what I'm saying, you need to lean on somebody else. So don't allow yourself to act on any advice that someone brings to you. Do not seek out any advice from any individuals, right? Handle your own problems, come up with your own solutions. And don't even view it as a problem. That'll help y'all with more peace too. Don't even view it as an issue or problem. Like, still be smart about the shit. Like, don't, by me saying don't view it as a problem, don't think that I'm thinking when we get in certain situations in life where we're going through some hardship or some shit like that, and something needs to be resolved, I'm saying, oh, that's not actually a problem, so I'm gonna just let it go and not give a fuck about it, not act on it, not try to fix it, not try to adjust it in any type of way. Nah, don't take it that way. Just don't view it as a problem in the aspect of need to stress out about feeling like you need to solve it all the time and shit like that. Just be aware. Like that's really the best thing that you can do, is just be aware of your circumstances and situations. That way, you know within a moment's notice where you need to pivot and adjust that, instead of viewing things as problems. Just view your circumstances and situations in its entirety, without a bias, without any type of societal pressure telling you that shit needs to be a certain way, right? Just view it like that. And whatever you deem necessary to be adjusted or pivoted in some type of way, act on that. And that'll help you gain more peace as well. Now, like I said, come up with your own conclusions, solve your own problems. Because this is the thing about it. If you got any aspect of realness within you, you're going to be in a situation where you will be more satisfied, even if you make mistakes and fuck up or do the wrong thing, because you know that was solely you. Nobody else had an influence over you. Nobody else controlling you. Nobody else was making you do that. Nobody else gave you no advice, no faulty guidance, no faulty leadership. Wasn't nobody leading you. You could be much more satisfied, even if you come to a means to an end in some type of way. Even if you come to some shit that you fuck up and you can't get out of, no matter what, you would be more satisfied with it if you did it your own way, because that's what you truly believed in and that's what you truly wanted to do, rather than being led and guided by someone else and taking someone else's advice. That is what is really going to help y'all gain peace. And now, don't get it fucked up. That's only if you got any aspect of realness to you at all. If you got any amount of real flowing through your fucking veins right now, you gonna understand what the fuck I'm saying. You will be much more satisfied, even if you got to crash out and go to jail. I'm not telling y'all to do that at all. You know what I'm saying? But a person right now who has crashed out and went to jail, or fucking robbed a bank, or fucking killed somebody and is in prison right now, the ones who have a much easier time and the ones who are much more at peace with their situation is the ones who solely acted off of their own virtue. They solely acted off of their own opinion, off of their own emotion, off of their own passion, whatever that may be. Whether it be, like, for example, a situation where a father walk in on his his young daughter getting sexually mistreated or sexually abused by an older dude or some shit, and he immediately killed the motherfucker immediately, and then he goes to jail for the rest of his life. Okay, that person is going to be much more at peace and much more happier with the situation than a person who got paid to go do a hit or some shit, or you know what I'm saying, or somebody was telling them this was what they should do, or paying them to do this or that, or situations like this. A person who acted solely off of their own nature of or their own morality of what they viewed as right and wrong are always going to be more happy than the individuals who are just taking advice from people to get where they at. And I just use the jail situation as an example because that's like a really negative circumstance and situation, and that just shows you the people who suffer less and are allowed to be at experience more peace and shit like that are the people who act out of their own nature, are the people who do what they think is right. The shit can play out in a multitude of ways. So, for example, take this into consideration, okay? There's a little kid who wanted to be a doctor ever since he was little, right? A little kid who wanted to be a doctor ever since he was little. That's all they ever wanted. They wanted to help people, right? They wanted to be a doctor. So what they did was what they thought in their own mind. Nobody ever told them this. Nobody ever told them they need to go to college. Nobody ever told them they need to go to school. Nobody ever told them they need to go and work this mentorship. They just came to their own conclusion in their own mind that I want to be a doctor. The best thing for me to do to become a doctor in the way that I want to do it is for me to go to college and apply to this certain university and get this certain percentage level of grade point average and set these things up in these type of way. And one day I'll be a doctor. Okay. Now that person is going to be much more fulfilled with that job title, that career, that path than a person who never even gave a fuck about being a doctor, and their parents was just like, you need to be a doctor or a lawyer. Anytime you come here with anything less than a C- on your report card, we're busting your ass. Anytime, you know what I'm saying? Anytime your teacher call home and say you raising hell in the classroom, we're taking your fucking TV away and your PlayStation game system, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like that, y'all just got to understand this. Doing shit your own way is the only way to do it. Okay, so that's the problem too with telling people your business and what you're into, right? So for example, the example I just gave you about the kid who wanted to be a doctor and never got any advice, and the kid who was constantly being led towards being a doctor and didn't necessarily even give a fuck about it. Even if they did want to be a doctor and like to be a doctor, all that advice is gonna fuck them up. Understand that. Like I said, that's why it's to be on the hush hush when it comes to what you're into, because regardless if people even know anything about that or not, everyone is always going to have something to say. Everyone is always going to give you some type of advice. No matter what it is that you're into, they're always going to think they know the best way to do it because they've observed it from someone else that came before you who did the exact same shit. So that's why y'all need to be very careful, particular, and pay very close attention to when, where, how, who, and what you're sharing your experiences with, and what you're working towards, what your goals are, and what you're trying to build for yourself. Because certain people will go mute and not say shit. That's how you identify somebody who don't really fuck with you or somebody who don't really believe in you. That's how you identify them. The moment that you start talking about shit or whatever you're building, or being happy about something working out for you when it comes to your creative gifts and talents, or whatever dream, imagination, and goal that you're working towards at the moment you come outside your mouth and you start talking about that, and you know this person ain't normally a quiet person. You start saying something and they immediately go mute, silence, nothing. That's how you identify a person right there who don't really fuck with you like that, don't really believe in you like that, and don't really think that what you got going on is actually going to work. That's how you know it, because they would not want to interact with the conversation. And this is another thing too. If you pay close attention, these people who try to play the quiet game whenever we get into these certain type of talking points, or you be happy about what's working out for you and shit like that, when they go quiet on that tip, now you do something like show them your artwork, or you do something like start telling them about the next project you working on, or you do something like start playing one of your songs, or try to show them this next bracelet you made, or this next t-shirt you made. That'll be the moment that they start talking. that'll be the moment that they start trying to switch the topic of conversation. If you are on the talking tip of it, if you just showing them something, or showing them one of your new songs or some shit like that, and they immediately start talking, that's the same shit. That's the exact same shit. And these be the same people. And I've had many circumstances and situations to be able to peep from this, to observe this through many different people, to know this now. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm able to be up here to teach this shit to you guys. Like, that's how you identify it. These people are the same person. The person who start talking every time you try to show them one of your new songs, or somebody that you working with that you're trying to feature with, or some shit like that. This is the same person who go mute every time you start to bring up what's going good with your shit, and what type of what direction you trying to take it, and what you're into, and shit like that. These are the exact same person. It's not separate. I mean, I'm sure it can play out separate, but a lot of the time these people be the same person. They be playing out both of these energies in the same vessel. So don't get it fucked up. People don't really fuck with you how they claim they fuck with you. The body language and the tone and how shit is expressed is what is going to help y'all to observe this a little bit better. But like I said, that's just a little tidbit of information. Whenever you're expressing these things, fuck, I had a point. I just remembered something from a minute ago that I was trying to break down, and then it subsided again. If they want me to express that awareness. Okay, yeah, they do want me to express that awareness. So yeah, when you're in a situation and you start to